Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Friday afternoon, September 20th. We're looking at Window Trader's market profile of the ES at NQ. So rollover's done, dividend for SPY, expiration. Kind of an interesting day today. After a wide overnight, we pushed lower from it, especially in ES. Right? We had a very wide overnight. But we opened, tried to get up into it, never got the overnight POC early, and then we pushed down. We do take out both sides of the IB in ES. We do not get the overnight high, though. NQ, both overnights, both IBs. Barely took out the IB high in NQ, so I will not use that probe. ES, even though we closed below eyes high, I want to see how we open on Monday. We're in balance on all of these. Righty barely came out of the inside day to the downside. They end with a 12-wide POC. Again, we're going to recap all of these charts. Volume, nothing great. It's above average a little bit, but with an expiration, you would kind of expect that. But it's nothing to write home about. Only 65 million right now in SPY. We're averaging 61.5 million. Bears had their chance to get going today. Right? They put the daily in balance, and Fed Day is a price vacuum. They tried to get going inside of it, but really didn't. So ES ends with an afternoon pullback and a price probe. They only ended 8 wide. NQ ends with an afternoon pullback in K. They do end 9 wide. As far as my trading goes, I actually took NQ is opening up kind of near half back. Or above half back of the overnight. So there was no trade in NQ for me. But ES, on the other hand, opened right near, kind of near the overnight low, and I front ran it. Didn't make a lot. I think I made just 2.5 points on it, but it gave me something on that. That was in ES. Then in NQ, I missed getting the overnight high. I did miss it, but I took a long against when it pulled back to both the opening and the 144, which was a decent one. So that was my A trades. In B period, though, I did get the short to take out A's low. I did not. I was not. I told you I've been sizing up. I did not. I only had a 2 lot on, not a 5 lot. The main reason was we had gotten the overnight high right away, and the overnight low wasn't too far away. I didn't know if they were going to get going to go get both of them. Obviously they did, but still did well on that. And then after they did that, I was looking for a couple of ebb and flow shorts, which I lost on one but made on a couple of others. No, I'm sorry, I didn't lose on any in B. C period I nailed it. Had my 5 lot to take out the IB low, nailed that. And then in C period, made on some ebb and flow shorts, but I did lose on one. So that was a very good, nice one. And then in D period, I took the short to fill the gap that we had from yesterday when we gapped higher in NQ. So a very good morning. Now, I was looking for an afternoon rally high. In ES, I had said if we get to around C's high, it's a good risk reward against the opening. I did short it. I ended up losing only a couple of, I shorted it, I added, came in a little bit, took some off. I ended up losing on the trade, but not a lot. Not a lot at all. And I made an NQ on a short in F period when I took a short the first time, and it backed off against B's high. I also shorted G's high in NQ against the opening and did okay on that one also. J period flushed pretty good and pretty hard. There was a lot of people long. After making a low on the day, we went up E, F, G, H, I. Didn't get a lot of distance away from the IB high, and J liquidated them. And I took a long in ES and in NQ. ES was against half back, which paid at the time, and in NQ was right at value. Now, value changed somewhat from the day, but it was a beautiful long in J period against value low to go back to POC. Now, I didn't hold it all the way back to POC, but that's the reason I took the trade. And that was it. I didn't do anything with the Three Stooges, Curly, Larry, and Moe, KL and M. As far as our destinations, today's high is 75. Our price probe is 69. Afternoon pullback low is 42.50, and today's low is 33.50. SPY's high is 569.31. Price probe is 568.69. Afternoon pullback 566.09, and today's low of 565.17. So let's go to these charts and see what is happening here as well, already up to September 20th. So let's start with the Russell. The Russell is in a 3-month balance, okay? It had exploded out of balance 3 months ago, but last month put it back to balance, and now we're in balance. It always seems like righty is in perpetual balance, but we'll see. Right now, the monthly is searching for more market-generated information. The weekly, I was using this weekly high from August 26th as my weekly high. So now it depends. You could say they came out of balance, even though we closed back into it. You can call it up if you'd like. Some people might be looking for the yearly high as their balance high. Again, that's a personal choice. I think I'm going to keep the daily, weekly up for now. Right? They're in balance so many times. I'm going to give them their due. They took out the 5-week balance here, even though they came back in. I'm going to call them up for now. So, monthly balance, weekly up. And the daily is balance. How big is the balance? You want to call it a 2-day balance? You want to call it a 4-day balance? We were discussing this in the room, and you'll see when we get to ES and NQ. Since I don't trade it much, I'll give them more leeway. I'll call them a 4-day balance. So, monthly and daily a balance. The weekly I'm calling up. Let's go to triple Qs at NQ. And their charts are much cleaner because I don't back adjust. And it's very important when you're going to see the weekly. So the monthly is in balance. It's a 4-month balance. Okay? It's a 4-month balance right now in NQ. Now the weekly stretched the balance high in triple Qs. It didn't in the NQ because I don't back adjust, so we're above those weekly highs. So to me, they just stretched it, even though we're one time framing up for 2 weeks. So I would call this for now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a 6-week balance. Do we come? Now, here's the question. We stretched the weekly high yesterday, the balance high. Am I going to declare them dead because today they didn't get back to it? Of course not. Let's see what happens next week. However, if we do not get back to this week's high and we start rolling over, then there is a good chance to revisit this double bottom or close to a triple bottom at the bottom of our weekly balance. So balance on the monthly, balance on the weekly, and balance on the daily. I would call it a 2-day balance yesterday and today. And then on the S&P, which hit an all-time high a couple of times along with the Dow this week, monthly is up. We came out of a 3-month balance to the upside. So the monthly is up, the longest time frame up. Weekly, up. Intermediate time frame is up. So the S&P is a leader along with the Dow. And the daily is balance. Again, what do you want to call it? 2-day balance, 3-day balance, 4-day balance. It depends. I am leaning on calling it just a 2-day balance yesterday and today since we didn't get into Wednesday's range that much. 69 million on the tape, not a lot of volume. Which, and even the range today ended up being just over $4, which is decent. So we'll take that. Anyway, I hope you guys and gals had a great week. Come check us out at camelbacktrading.org. Love to have some new traders come into our fold. I think you would like what you see and hear from us. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to this channel. Enjoy your weekend, and we will speak prior to the opening on Monday.